And we're back. This is the late night snack pack. Absolutely. It's late night with the Lakers fast break. You know, Intel, you put that on there, late night snack pack. So we thought we'd combine the two intros for late night Lakers fast break with snack pack. Joe's right there munching and chewing right there for you. Great to have everyone here. It is Gerald Glassford along with my good friend Joe Soro from LakersBall.com and SinBlaze.com. Please go ahead and check out my other shows if you get a chance. Inside Sports Fantasy Football. I have an episode dropping tomorrow on the NFL Draft and Aaron Rodgers. Plus also some Pop Culture Cosmos this weekend. We're talking the writer strike, and also as well we're talking, of course, a summer movie preview, which starts this weekend with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So a lot of great stuff going on. Lakers ball, you know, is running wild. So go ahead and check out Ox 1947 today, right there for you on the internet. And of course, his awesome company, Simblades with a Y.com. Don't forget our good friends, and we've got a lot of them, and we could always use more, but it's also great to have them aboard. Of course, Lakerholics.com, the number one Lakers. You could go ahead and bunch on there. It's a snack pack. But it is Laker Tom, the number one Lakers blogger that's out there, along with Jamie Sweet, a.k.a. Yami Sweet, with his 5 Things articles. Go ahead and check them out today, right there for you at Lakerholics.com. Our good friend Stone Hansen, who will be returning sometime next week, I think, Game 3. He said he'll try and make it back. Go ahead and check out his awesome show, the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast, you know, because that's getting really hot and heavy as far as the prospects are concerned. So go ahead and check it out today. Our good friend John Mikaelian, congratulations to him. He's lost 40 pounds of his 100-pound goal. So he's lost 40 pounds, and he details it on his latest video today at the John Mikaelian channel. So give him a like and subscribe when you get a chance. Lakers in 5. I know our good friend Search and Destroy has a opportunity with that company each and every time out. So he helps them out. Lakers in 5. So I got to give them a shout out as well. Our good friend, Mr. Magic Man himself, Sean Grice. It's too late for him. It's 2 o'clock in the morning where he's at. So hopefully he's Betty by. But you know he loves those snack packs. And also saw Magic Man in the morning on Friday. Yep, more snacks there for you. But you know he loves his coffee every Friday morning for Magic Man in the morning right here at the Lakers Fast Break channel. So again, if you can like and subscribe, please go ahead and do so to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with another great show right here at the Lakers Fast Break. But it is the day between games 1 and 2. It is coming to a close. A lot of people are now trying to second guess themselves on how the Lakers pulled off a Game 1 victory in San Francisco. A lot of people are maybe second guessing themselves a little bit. Some of them are just saying, well, it's still going to be Golden State in 7. I'm still hearing a lot of that. But you know what? We are riding high off the Game 1 victory, looking to see if we can get greedy and take 2 in the Bay this weekend. But one of the things I wanted to talk to Joe today in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously some of the key matchups, but the biggest thing that stands out to me is during this entire playoffs, we have not gotten a LeBron James type game. Now, of course, he's 38. He's coming off the injury. He doesn't look 100% a lot. He's still having a hard time driving to the basket on occasion. He's shooting and relying too much on his outside jumpers. So we've not seen a LeBron James game yet. The 22-point, 20-rebound game was still based off the 20 rebounds and not the 22 points that he scored in that famous Memphis game. But he did come out with the LeBron James drive on Dylan Brooks. We all know about that, and that was so awesome to see. We're getting spurts of LeBron James. So I ask you, Joe Soro of LakersBall.com and Simblades with the Y.com, let me ask you this. Do we need a LeBron James superstar game? And do you think we'll get one anytime soon?
Need. No, we don't need one. We just need him to do what he's been doing. And a lot of his energy has been on the defensive side, which is probably hurting his offensive game. And he's probably playing a little injured. However, the Lakers have played 3 games in a row where the defense was pretty effective. They lost the first one in game 5 against Memphis. That's just because Memphis was at a completely different level at home. But the last 2 games have been pretty much as dominant a defensive showing that you can have. And LeBron's been a big part of that. You don't mess up what's working. You continue to do what you're doing right now. This is not something you adjust from. It's defense. You keep playing defense the way you can. The Golden State Warriors are a jump shooting team, a 3-point shooting team that had one of their best 3-point shooting games, jump shooting games, maybe ever. I mean, they actually broke a record in the first half, hitting 12 threes. That's an interesting stat for a team like Golden State. You would think that they had done that before.
Right.
But there was in no way while the game was going on, even when they went on that 14-0 run, which you got to give credit to Steve Kerr. He had to pull that out. I'm sure he didn't want to pull that out in game 1, but he had to now, and now the Lakers can prepare for it. Going into that zone, the Lakers could not adjust for a couple minutes. But I said this last night, the Lakers could not have picked a better time to go cold while having a 14-point lead. Now, by the time the Warriors caught up, they ran out of gas. And then as soon as D'Angelo hit that little turnaround layup, you could see the Warriors somewhat deflate. And at that point, the Lakers had them where they needed them. And we just needed one Dunsky to make one bad shot, pull, and pretty much give the game to the Lakers at that point.
Well, the thing I ask you, though, is, LeBron James has yet to have that superstar, quote unquote, game. I mean, the 22-point, 20 rebound game was more off, again, like I said earlier, more off the 20 rebound games, my friend. So I ask you, do you think that we're going to get one? And the second question on top of that is, do you think we need a LeBron superstar game in this series?
If I had to say when would be the best time for it, or will we?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if
tomorrow.
If it happens tomorrow, then the Lakers will win the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what would be ideal. But I don't think LeBron is trying to be that guy. He's missing his open shots. He's conserving his energy right now because this is still the second round. You have to have the mindset a little bit of, look, if they're going to make a run here, you got to conserve for the next round, and then obviously the biggest round of all, which is the finals. So there's got to be some thinking there. If I had a gun to my head and I had to say yes or no for this series, maybe not, and they might not need it in this series. Where they will need to use it is in the next series and definitely in the finals. So I think LeBron will have his game. I think LeBron will have his game. His signature game in the next round and the finals. I don't believe they need to have him have his game, his dominant game in this series.
Once again, it's late night with the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us for a late night talk about what's going on with Game 2 of the NBA playoffs coming up here between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. And there you go, Mr. Snack Pack, late night Snack Pack himself, Mr. Joe Soro right there. Also here today, good man indeed. I mentioned his name earlier as part of one half of the tag team duo that always ends up fighting with each other. And he thinks I just try to start this trouble. And my gosh, you guys,
you're like Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire. I just happened to walk in.
You and live on YouTube, Facebook,
Whatever.
and all of our outlets, you proved it when you two were on the other night together. It is Jamie Sweet, aka Yami Sweet, the man behind the 5 Things articles you can catch right now at Lakerholics.com. So I asked it to Joe, and I ask it to you right now. We saw LeBron throughout these playoffs. We get, I don't know, I'd say, sir, when it comes to defense, he's played better defense than I thought he could still play. When it comes to rebounding, he's been rebounding very effectively in this playoff series so far, including 11 rebounds the last game. We talked about AD with the 23 rebounds. LeBron had 11 himself. Plus, we saw the 20 rebound game in the last time around in the Memphis series, but we haven't really seen a great scoring game yet or really efficient game from LeBron yet. We haven't seen him consistently take those games, even when it's offered to him, a lot of drives to the basket, which, they're there for him. Especially we saw on Tuesday's game where we saw the lane was literally wide open for D'Angelo Russell. God forbid what that would have happened if you had a prime LeBron James going at it. So I ask you, my friend, with all that being said and done, do you think LeBron James is going to have a superstar game at any point in time in the playoffs? And do you think the Lakers need it?
They might need it in any number of closeout games that may or may not come our way. If they move to
Denver, they're going to need one.
But I find that to be the least likely place it'll happen, at least in the first couple of games as he adjusts to the mile high environment. If somehow the Lakers could advance faster than, let's say it's going to be Denver. To answer the question, I don't think the Lakers need it. I think that my post today on my 5 Things today was, it's not LeBron James, it's the James gang. LeBron James is leading the best gang of players that complement him and AD, and also feed off a crowd's energy, which is not what happened in the bubble. You gotta love D'Angelo Russell at home because he plays for the crowd. This is the James gang now. He's the leader for sure. It's all he's the driving force behind it. But I don't think you're gonna. There might be a game when he hits 4 out of 7 or 4 out of 9 from 3, I guess, and bumps the point total up. But the reason you're not going to see a lot of those drives is because I think the foot is he doesn't want to drive into contact if he can avoid it. I think Joe's right. He's essentially saving those drives for later series. I think he's got I don't know if he's got a hard number, I got 20 drives left to be, you know what I mean? But I'll bet he has a feeling of what that number is per game and the type of situation he wants to drive into. And I think he's just trying to, stay on the floor, frankly. I do feel like I think his foot injury is far more troublesome and worrisome than is AD's. And they're both stress related. So, and he has been playing better defense. I think that teams have done a bad job of attacking him on defense as well. And that also is a credit to the Lakers defensive acumen because they're funneling everybody to AD. Just that's why you have AD, right? Send him towards that guy. let him drive towards that guy in the paint. And it's impossible. It's always mystifying to me when teams, I'm not saying nobody stops anybody on the perimeter. People get by you. It's just a question of on what side of your body, right? They're going to get by on the left or the right. And on what side of the body is AD? Make those things work together. That's great NBA defense. That's making it work. And the Lakers have done a really good job of that with Vanderbilt, Russell, Reeves, Schroeder,
Hachimura. They got the support. They got AD got the
support. So I mean, and LeBron. It's the James gang, man. Funk number 49. Go back and listen to it. When I know we don't have royalty rights and stuff like that, but
we saw this in Memphis, my friend. We saw this in Memphis where the support was in and out. In games, game 2 and game 5, where maybe a LeBron being the old LeBron, or at least trying to show some glimmer of the old LeBron, could have been the difference maker, and maybe getting those wins a little bit earlier. I'm just concerned that there's going to be a point in time in this series where you do need the LeBron that we have come to know, and he can't give it to you anymore. That's what concerns me.
It's coming. That's coming. That's what we're watching it happen, right? This is unfolding. He's got a 6-shooter, man. and there's 8 more wins, to get to the NBA, or 6 more wins to get to. I don't know. My math is terrible. 7
7.
more wins. Thank you. 7 more wins. So he's there's a clunker of a game, and there's he's saving his bullets, man. Like he's got to. The dude's old. Uh, he played a lot of the season. It's incredible what he's done. I don't want to take anything away, but
no, but I'm just throwing those questions out there because it's something
no,
we
they're
have
valid
to consider.
questions. My answer is I think we're watching him save, and I think Joe hit it at the same thing. He's going to try to pick his moments as much as he can, and this team gives him that luxury. The better team around him, maybe one of the best teams he's ever had around him, talent-wise, in terms of fit, where all the guys who are doing their roles are also like pretty talented. They're all excellent at their roles that complement LeBron and AD, but they're better than some of the guys that we've had in the past. So I don't know. I think this team can go further than people expect, but it won't necessarily be because, who's your finals MVP right now? It would be AD without.
Of course.
No, right. There's no
AD has the Western Conference. Should they beat Denver or Phoenix if they get past Golden State, AD is going to win the Western Conference Finals MVP or Western Conference Finals MVP by a mile.
Yeah, and maybe even I would hopefully say the NBA Finals.
And then and if this is to be a win, AD has to be the guy like he's been. Yes, this is
right?
There's a lot. There's so much that can be validated here and solidified. One is you said it clearly that this could be the best. And I thought the 2020 team was LeBron's best team, even in the
Agreed.
two.
Yeah, I know.
Miami
Like what
wins.
Tom was saying, this one was better. I would still. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in
Sure.
the championship.
I'm
gonna
not saying
say
the
it's 2020
accomplishment wise.
team.
I would say that if you look at individual talent and people who are supposed to do their roles, that would is D'Angelo Russell better than KCP, for instance?
Well, I'm just going to say that the 2020
That's what
team
I'm
could
saying.
throw out more looks. They
Yeah,
could go
that's true.
small and they
That's
could go
true.
huge.
They could
which
go
is something
huge.
this team can't do for you.
No,
because
this-
Mo
yep.
Bamba is not even
No.
playing to the level that Dwight Howard or
He
JaVale
can't.
McGee did.
He can't.
At
It's
that
not
time.
in his,
Good
it's not in
point.
his DNA. It's not in his DNA. That's a good point, Gerald, and I agree with that. That's a valid point. So
Yeah, that's the one thing Tom goes, because I know Tom says this year's team is better than that team. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree just on that status alone.
I'll amend my statement and say that I believe the potential this team has is to be like that
Now
team.
there
but
you
with-
go. Agree right now. Now, if they do win the championship and they go on the road in each and every series and win, then I will change my statement to go ahead and reflect that, because the proof is in the pudding there. But right now I have to go ahead and I have to lean towards that 2020 team. But Joe, getting back to
real quick question: does anybody know has the road team? Has there been an NBA champion who was the road team?
On every
The
series?
1995 Rockets.
The Rockets, right? That Rockets team that just kept winning on. That's right. That's the only other one, right? That's astounding.
Yeah.
That was a bad mother of a team.
And just everybody out there, I'm just throwing these. I'm not trying to be a negative individual. I'm just throwing different questions out there for these guys to go ahead and tackle in regards to LeBron, in regards to the rotation players. One last thing I want to touch on LeBron, Joe, is we saw a little taste of it, and I actually like to see it. Something I asked for in the preview coming up to it was a little bit more post-ups, and we saw a little bit more taste of it because LeBron got Curry on him at one time. He got a couple of the guards Poole on him at one time. He could back them in. He actually got a couple layups, I think, off of it. At least one that I know of off the top of my head.
He saved his shooting. He saved his shooting percentage early in the fourth quarter with some of those post-ups.
That's what I'm asking for. That's what I think is intriguing, and that's a way to get him off the three-point line where he's shooting 14%, I think, because it was 16 going in and he was 1 for 8. So you do the math. It's probably less than that now. So your thoughts on that, Joe? Something I actually got brushed aside when I said in the previous, but I really think it's something that, maybe they should do a little bit more to throw a different look at Golden State, because they're going to throw some different looks at us tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what adjustment Kerr can make that would be that much different? Are they going to do more screens for Steph Curry? Are they going to do more screens for Poole, for Thompson? What exactly is Kerr going to adjust to? Is he going to go into the zone defense earlier in the game to see if he can throw off the Lakers so Golden State can go on a run? I'd say that might be the most realistic strategy to just try to figure out a way to make the Lakers not effective on offense. The Lakers were not aggressive in shooting threes, even though LeBron shot 8 shots.
Yeah,
did he shoot 6 or 8?
No, you're right, 8.
Yeah.
It was 1 for 8, right? Something like that.
I think LeBron only had really a couple of boneheaded passes, which, that's fine. I just don't want 5 and 6.
Yeah.
His 3-point shots, a couple of them were okay, but he makes those sometimes, so it's okay.
Some of them earlier were barely rimming out. They looked good. They just didn't fall. They just rimmed out. And
here's the thing that that my mind won't come off. The Lakers took everything that Golden State threw at them, and it looked like it didn't faze them in the least. This is why I don't understand what could Golden State do in game 2 other than the Lakers completely just their offense goes to crap. But why? Why would they? Who on Golden State can shut anyone down on the Lakers? Who? Wiggins? Wiggins can shut down D'Lo. Wiggins can shut down AD? No. LeBron? No. Steph Curry? No. Klay Thompson? No. Who? And during that run that they had, Looney was on the bench. So if he's going to be on the bench, who's going to rebound for him?
I'll be curious to see if that's the adjustment. If it's more Draymond Green on AD, to the degree that they can manufacture.
Draymond Green looked like Rondo in the 2010 finals. They left him. They were practically saying shoot the 10-footer, not even a 3.
No,
they're like, hey, shoot it, go ahead. He didn't do jack squat.
He'll shoot more next game. He'll take those open shots.
Good. I hope he does.
I do too. Frankly.
And to me, I don't know, guys.
But that's the adjustment, right? It's like somebody like that will have a game the way that Schroeder had. That's what flips, right? If Schroeder doesn't have his 19-point super efficient game, because Hachimura 6 points, Reeves solid game, Reeves-like game, but not a volume point scorer. If Schroeder's held to 7. And he has a bad shooting percentage, 1 for 12, 2 for whatever, something bad. And exactly what you're saying, somebody like Green or JaMychal Green kind of got some, the other Green got some minutes and played well last night as well, kind of unheralded minutes, hadn't played in the series prior. That's what's going to, if a role player of ours underperforms, basically, that's the adjustment, right? Like the Warriors have to shut down a role player on our team and make them underperform, because if it's just LeBron and AD and D'Lo, I don't think it is enough. I think the Warriors then do have too much. Somebody else besides those 3 has to hit 18 to 25 points semi-efficiently. Not even efficient. They just have to get there. And if they can shut that down somehow, then I think they got a shot, at least in game 2. That's basically what happened in the Memphis game. In game 2, we took the foot off the gas. Ja was out. Everybody thought, this is an easy one. We're going to go home up 2-0. Didn't happen. And so hopefully they learn that lesson and can come at it tomorrow with a little bit of greed.
But we'll see what happens.
The greed part is important. The
greed is good.
Yes, that's what Gordon Gekko said.
Greed works.
We've watched 2 games in extremely important games. A closeout game and a game 1 on the road against the champs. And the Lakers made both teams look like chumps.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to see a lackluster performance before I'm going to predict, or not even predict, but feel
entertain the notion of
entertain the notion that the Warriors, who I've watched play 8 games in the playoffs, and I'm not impressed. I haven't been impressed with any of their games. I was impressed by Steph in Game 7 because that's what megastars do. He went to another level, and he did it. The problem, though, is we have 2 megastars, and one of them is playing better than their megastar.
Yeah.
So now what? Because there's no stars in Sacramento. I don't give a crap what the oversaturated awards you want to give out nowadays. What's next, guys? Clutch Player of the Year.
De'Aaron Fox is pretty good. De'Aaron Fox is pretty good.
Are we gonna give an award to the guy who plays all 82 games? Are we gonna put a nice pin? You know how you had when you had.
Yes, they already do that. It's the Iron Man
award. Are they gonna put a pin on the jersey and go out and are they gonna cry in some gym after they win an award? Jesus Christ, could you be any more of a freaking wussy ass culture?
Oh, man.
Seriously. I don't want to use the W word. I wanted to use the other word because that would have fit the description. I mean, it's gotten out of hand here, guys. Really? And what did that guy do? Get 4 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the game. Clutch? That's clutch?
Yeah.
No. I'm not impressed by the Warriors. I haven't been all season. Okay? They look tired. They look burnt. It is what it is. That's what happens to all the great teams. At some point, they start to wither away. Yeah. So I want to see the Warriors come out in Game 2 and play like the way the Celtics played against the Sixers tonight. If I don't see that, they ain't winning the game. There's no freaking way. Lakers are going to go up 2-0.
Well, that's what we're looking for indeed. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break late night with a Lakers Fast Break snack pack right there for you. It is Jamie Sweet from Lakerholics.com and Ox1947, Joe Soro from LakersBall.com. Great to have you here late night with us, just talking some stuff as far as the Lakers game in advance of Game 2. Please join us right there for you. For the game, you can join us over the post game or the snack packs before the game preview. Anything that you can do to support us right there, whether it's here or on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, it's truly appreciated. So I ask you, Jamie, is there any kind of matchups that you're looking at? Particularly, we talked about LeBron. We talked about if LeBron needed to be LeBron, and you guys have had definitive answers on that. You're looking for continued clutch play from those guys. I'm not sure about D'Lo. D'Lo has to prove it to me. He's now had 2 good games in a row. This is something he didn't have all the time during the course of his stay so far in Los Angeles. So I'm still very nervous about that. Schroeder, though, I am actually, because he had his first good game of the entire playoffs. I think he can repeat that performance again, not only on the offensive side, but a tremendous job by him on the defensive side. That's something we haven't talked about too much. It's the great job Dennis Schroeder did on defense on all those guards.
Yeah, no, this it always comes down to the role players, right? Like your stars are going to contribute. They're going to produce. LeBron's not producing super efficiently yet. I think that the law of averages over the course of however many games he plays will start to work itself out. He'll make adjustments. He'll either go into the post more, hit some threes, a little bit of both. It'll happen. He's smart. I'm not too worried. I don't worry about LeBron anymore, to be honest. I'm not other than like, don't get hurt, right? Like just keep being able to play. Like just the gravity of LeBron is enough to alter the floor in a favorable way for the Lakers. Simply the gravity. That's all you need. And AD has thus far, for the most part, risen to the challenge of being the most dominant player on both ends of the floor. For the entire game, or at least all the minutes that he's on the floor. I wonder if we'll see Malik Beasley over Troy Brown tomorrow a little bit.
Yeah, because Troy Brown, the defensive end, which was supposed to be his forte,
was okay. He was okay.
He was called out several times by Stan Van Gundy, and
he got hurt. he got hurt on the
I think
screens,
Yeah.
but the
I think
length helped a little on certain shots.
I go back and forth, but that's my question, right? Like, or that's what I'm supposing. Like, we might see a little more Malik Beasley in lieu of Troy Brown Jr. I still find it a little bit confusing that Lonnie Walker the fourth has not gotten his any kind of shot.
I mean, he looked good in the garbage time the other day. Why not give him some burn? See what can happen there. That
I
eighth
mean,
man is still a problem for the Lakers. That
Lace
eighth
man is still
guy.
a problem. I don't know. I would, if I were the coach, this is just what I would do if I were the coach. I would tell all three of them, like, I'm going to give you a game. It's game 1, Troy Brown, game 2, Malik. Lonnie, when we get home, you get game 3. Who's my eighth man going forward? You know, because it's going to be an 8-9 man rotation if Wenyan plays, right? Like, that's the rotation. Wenyan might play 5-ish, 8-ish minutes in a game here or there just to soak up minutes for AD, right? Like, if he can score a couple points, AD sits for 9 minutes. If he doesn't score, AD sits for 7 minutes. Some kind of equation like that, right? And so, you know, that's what I'm curious about. Like, who steps up on those last 4 guys? Reeves is going to get you like 15-ish, 7 assists, maybe 6 or 7 rebounds, and just be generally pretty good at generating points. I think he's got. I want him to stop fishing for fouls if he's not at home. Like, don't just score on the road. Just score the basket. Like,
And
don't do that.
I'm just thinking that actually Lonnie Walker would actually be good. And defensive wise, maybe cutting through the screens, he's not going to give you anything more than TBJ. But one of the things he does well is take it to the basket. And as you and I saw, that is something that they could do very readily on the Lakers.
That I think you need to continue to pound. You need to continue to pound this team on the inside. Their weakness, Joe is right. There's nobody. Their weakness is at the center in the power forward position. If they go small, you got to force Draymond Green to become a shot blocker. You got to, or like, you know, pull him off of AD, and Lonnie Walker makes passes. He'll make the open. He'll hit the open man if like they commit to him, and he can throw a little alley oop. I don't know. These are my questions. I didn't love Troy Brown Jr.'s minutes. We'll see Malik Beasley first because he makes $16.5 million or has the $16.5 million option rather for next season, and what chances they want to give him to succeed, they'll give it to him before Walker. And there's times that I find it a little bit curious. I'm like, I get it, this guy makes more money, but I do feel like at times Lonnie Walker's the better player to have played in some of these situations, but it is what it is. So hopefully Beasley, if he does get those minutes and is on the floor at some point, can hit a couple threes and play good enough defense. You know, just needs to be good enough.
Your thoughts, Joe? Do you concur with Jamie on that? I think a little bit of a try with LW4. I have been hard on him this season. I just think defensively he is a minus for you, but in the right matchup here, he can take the ball to the basket. He's one of the best drivers of the ball to the basket. I'm not as high on his playmaking as Jamie is because we have seen him when he was trying to be the backup point guard. That actually failed miserably. But I think that one of the things he does do well is get the ball to the basket. And if his outside shot is hitting like it did in garbage time the other day, you never know. He would be an eighth man that you could have that actually does well off the bench.
Well, with all due respect to Lonnie Walker and Malik Beasley, but school's out. It's
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I'm not gonna.
There is
You're wrong.
My initial assessment of Beasley was that he would win us a playoff game at some point because he is a streaky shooter. However, the person who's actually replaced him in that and who would want us a playoff game in game 1 against Memphis was Rui Hachimura.
It's true.
That was the flip. I misdiagnosed the player. I felt that there would be a 3-point threat from one of our role players that would go off, and it was Rui instead of Malik. The Lakers have a good chemistry going on right now. Don't mess it up with hoping that you're wanting some guy who can score. Forget all that.
Well, they have a very good 7.
Yes, don't mess with what's
8.
working. Don't mess with what's working. The Lakers have to look at this as they are 11 games away from winning a championship. I don't think they're going to win the next 11 games in a row, although it'd be nice and easier on the bodies. But they could probably go another 14 to 15 games in that span. So if you're going to play another 15 games, I think you can muster up enough energy for those 15 games to win a championship. That's just me. You have a lot of young bucks on this team. It's not like you got a bunch of geezers. LeBron's the oldest one, right? LeBron is older than almost everyone by maybe, I think, 8 years.
But the games are coming I'm just going to be play devil's advocate here. The games are coming every other day, guys. So it's playing a 7.5 man rotation. Sometimes you could say maybe a full 8 if you get the few minutes from Troy Brown Jr. and a few minutes that you give to Wendy Gabriel. You could call that those two combined maybe an eighth guy. But as the series goes on, Joe and Jamie, I just think that you got to you got to give some time on the bench for these guys to go ahead and rest. You may have to play and try to rely on a ninth man like a Beasley or a Lonnie Walker.
Well, the Lakers, LeBron and AD got a lot of rest 3 days ago. 3 days ago? Was it 3 days ago? When they closed out Memphis?
4 days ago.
4 days ago.
5.
Sorry, yeah, 4 days ago. So did they? I don't think they spent a lot of energy in that game. They didn't.
But they
For the
certainly
first
looked
time,
tired.
for the first time this year, I saw LeBron and AD play 0 minutes in the fourth quarter.
I know, but we saw them pretty tired in this last game, my friend.
Well, that's because they're trying to catch up to a bunch of thoroughbreds who were making every shot.
Yeah.
They were making every shot, for God's sakes. They made 12 threes in the first half. They made another 9 in the second. I don't think they're going to hit 21 threes again the rest of the year. They'll hit 15, not 21. You're talking about 4 3-pointers away from breaking the record.
Blackjack.
I just don't see it.
I don't see blackjack happening again either. No, I agree.
So
1920 is still bad, right? And like we're not. I think the converse point would be that we're probably not going to shoot 17 or whatever it was more free throws. That'll balance itself out a little bit too. So, it's going to be fun. I think this is. But look what we're debating. The minutia we're debating. We're debating the 12 minutes Troy Brown played last night. And what the differential between free throws and 3-point make. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be
I'm just telling you honestly. I'm going to be honest. I'm just telling you. I with the games going every other day, I just see a fatigue factor for both teams because the Warriors also have players in their 30s as well. But when it comes to the Lakers,
wouldn't you think that? Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Well, your two key players are gassing out at the end of the fourth quarter like they did last night. That's what concerns me. And if they need to have, I don't know, say rely, but at least try to get some production out of an 8th and 9th guy, which is something they have yet to achieve here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's I think but that's what I mean, right? We're talking about the 12 minutes Troy Brown played, the 4 minutes that Wendy Gabriel played. We're talking about 16 minutes of the basketball game. Now, this is the point. Can Wendy Gabriel find a way to play for 10 minutes? Can he be? That's really what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about because that's where the rest comes from.
And that goaltend when the ball's already way coming down.
Oh man, way coming down. Like I get it. You're pumped.
And they were all mad at him.
But the point is, if you can't, then that's it. You can't not play that. You're playing 44 minutes. That's it. Did you see the way they chewed him out, man? Right down the floor. Oh yeah. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, well, but this is how you learn, right? This is the playoffs. Like this is effort is great, but also it has to work.
Sometimes that ball's just so tantalizing, you just can't resist.
And he's an energy guy. He does few, he wants to help that, and I appreciate that. But this is the point, right? 12 minutes. That's what Troy Brown played, and that was in lieu of Hachimura at times. I might have played Hachimura in those 12 minutes.
I would have as well.
And so these are the things that we're going to have to see what kind of adjustments that happens going forward, because those are the little things. had Hachimura been on the floor for that 14-0 run the Warriors went on, would it have been a 14-0 run? Who knows? We won't know. But it's going to be fun to see, what little things change. The chess match between Kerr and Ham with their little rotational gimmicks and what have you, and not gimmicks, but choices. And the Lakers have done a good job making Steph work for moving. They're pressuring full court. Somebody wrote Steph is gassed. It's because we've been pressing him full court, and he just took his team from Game 7 to this series. So the tired works both ways, and the Lakers have more rest. So the Lakers can get greedy and get Game 2. This could shape up to be a nice little break for them.
It sends a message too.
It does too. I agree. Same message Denver sent to Phoenix, right? Like, no, this isn't happening. You thought this was happening. This isn't happening. This is
because they did it with Sacramento where they fell behind 2-0. How many times can you fall behind 2-0 before it ends up rolling snake ice?
But that's Sacramento, where the Kings have been, the Warriors have been a terrible road team all season. If they fall down 2-0 at Chase Center, that's a message, man. That's the same message that
it's not just a message to the Warriors or to
anybody.
Clueless media. It's a message to Denver and a message to the other 4 teams in the East, knowing that, holy crap, we better hope that somebody gets injured on the Lakers. Otherwise, the Lakers are going to take this.
I agree. I just think, again, they can make itself easier just trying to see if they can get, LeBron, AD, any type of rest. If they can do that and maintain an advantage or keep at the same level.
You'll get rest in a month and a half.
It's better than the club.
You'll get rest in a month and a half.
Right.
There is no rest. You got to get that out of your mind. You have 11 to 12. You have 11 to 15 games.
AD cannot play the entire second half.
AD is the youngest star on this team. He's 30 years old. He just turned 30.
He can play the second half.
Draymond Green, Klay Thompson
every other day
are 33 years old, and Steph is 35 years old.
Think
the
about
best player in the series is 30.
Yeah, it's true.
He was gassed at the end of that game.
But Gerald, conversely, what does
Doesn't matter if he's gassed.
What does 4 minutes of Wendy and Gabriel get you in the second half?
I don't know.
What are you guys talking about?
Calling another timeout.
Nothing.
Something.
That's what I'm saying.
To me, it's just about finding a way.
What is this rest crap? Can you explain to me where this rest is coming from? What rest?
You just don't want him to get hurt, is what it is.
It doesn't matter. You play
tired at the end of the game.
If you play hesitant, if you play not to win 100%, you're gonna lose anyways. You might as well go all out. What are you resting for?
I'm talking about finding any point in time in that.
There is no point. Wendy Gabriel is not a sufficient backup.
Then
whatever he gives you.
Timeout. You still had a timeout in the back pocket. Call an
extra
timeout to give them a blow, man.
Oh my God! Look, you guys are driving me nuts with this rest crap. You have a month and a half to go win a championship. Hopefully, it's around 13 to 15 games left. Just play the freaking game. You can play 13 to 15 more, especially AD. AD's 30 years old. 30-year-old. It's not that old. Part of the reason
why they went on that 14-0 run.
They went on that 14-0 run because Steve Kerr adjusted at the last minute. He pulled out his wild card way too early. He pulled it out in game 1. Now the Lakers can prepare for it. It was a desperate move by a desperate team that hasn't played well all year, that has been hanging on to their pedigree. That's it. And Steph Curry. Having an amazing game.
So you're not going to say anything if the Lakers run out of gas tomorrow?
Why would they run out of gas tomorrow?
I don't think they will. Because they're playing.
Lakers will lose tomorrow if they don't play well. Just like they didn't play well in game 2 the last time there was a game 2. That's it. Okay. There is nothing else. And if the Lakers are to play well and still lose, then that means the Golden State Warriors probably hit 33s. Okay. You go back home and finish it off there then.
At least to get up 3-1, but they'll get with 2 wins at home.
Yeah. It still could go to 6. Point being, it's going to be a fun series.
It is going to be a fun series. I agree with you. And I think
the only fun series I like is wins. I don't care about fun series.
I think the Lakers can take it tomorrow. I just think, again, you just got to consider all the factors that are out there.
The factors are that game 2 always goes to the team that has lost game 1 typically, or the home team. It's like 33-7 or something.
So odds are against us.
Yeah, odds are against us that they're going to win tomorrow. Which the odds were again. I don't want to give any kind of
No, man,
attention.
you got to be like Han Solo. Never
I listen to some people. I swear, I can't understand if these guys actually watch these games. I really question whether these a-holes, would watch these games.
Oh, like on the
They
radio?
were talking about the Warriors like they were the 2018 Warriors. I don't understand where this thinking is. They don't watch these games. They haven't watched jack squat. What are you watching? Why do you think the Warriors look like the championship Warriors? They don't. They barely made it out of Sacramento. And Sacramento choked on their own chickens.
I agree with you there.
And cowbells.
And cowbells.
I agree with
I'm
you.
sorry. I mean, I guess that's what they're supposed to do. They haven't been in the playoffs in 17 years. Understandable.
Yeah.
Search, they're going to have to go ahead and sweep them because it looks like Denver may sweep or do a gentleman's sweep of Phoenix because that series is beginning to look really ugly there. So they may have to.
I'm worried about is the Denver Nuggets, especially with AD being healthy.
Okay.
I'm worried about the Golden State Warriors because they actually have won something. You can worry about them a little bit, but the last team I'm worried about is Denver.
Okay. The team that you predicted to go to the finals.
Yeah, that's because I was under the assumption that the Lakers were going to suck this year. That's why I picked Denver. But
started out that way.
If the Lakers face Denver and that Lakers don't have any injury issues, God help Jokic and that big mouth Jamal Murray, because he has one good game and all of a sudden he thinks he's Michael Jordan, and then he came back down to earth in game 2 again.
That he did. As long as he plays like that.
Yeah, but they still won.
Good. Good for them. Good for them. They're playing a soulless, dead team. That's why.
You said it, not I, my friend, but I can't say
I can't. I couldn't agree. I know. I couldn't agree more. Like,
I can't disagree with Joe on that one. That's for sure.
I saw a meme today that said KD has decided I'm going to Denver for Game 3.
KD looked like he was practicing at my gym.
He always looks like that.
He looked like he wants to go away forever somewhere and not do anything ever again.
Yeah, I think he's getting there.
He's so over this whole what I believe when KD retires, you will not hear from him. You will not hear from him again.
Yeah.
He'll just be gone.
No, I think he'll do.
And I think Philadelphia missed a golden opportunity. Something that we had talked about with Ja being injured, but we made up for it after that game 2 loss. But we saw that tonight with Jason Tatum, only getting 7 points. You have Joel Embiid back in the lineup who looked really bad and rusty, and they end up losing. But they split. They're heading back to Philly.
Isn't it funny how a Daryl Morey run team always seems to be more obsessed with MVPs for their players than winning? Yes. Look what it did. Agree. Look at the charade they put on today. Look at the let's be real here. Charade.
I try not to watch Boston games.
Look at the charade. They have a playoff game. They had a chance to put their foot in the throats of Boston, and they're sitting there serenading this whining, crying little you-know-what for the last 3 years because he hasn't won the MVP. Go win a championship. Stop worrying about your stupid MVP. And then what happened? They ate crap tonight.
Yes, they did.
Okay? I'm not sitting here trying to be all negative Nancy. I'm not. But this is stupid. Dude, you got a championship to go win. What do you
Tatum only scores 7 points. You got to win that game.
Chumps?
You got to win that, yeah.
Who is leading these chumps?
James.
That was an embarrassment. I was embarrassed to actually have that pop up on my phone.
Yeah.
They were much better without Joel Embiid, the MVP, than with him. It was
I think they brought up
so much that Gerald. It's the Celtics. The Celtics have a. It's very similar to like an LA Dodger thing when they just can't in the playoffs.
Over. They don't roll over.
They just don't. They can't just put their fist in your heart and pull your heart out.
Well, I tell you what, when again, you got to take that advantage of that when Tatum their best player only scored 7, and you have your best player back, and you guys they pulled a dud, and it does go back to Philly tied 1-1, but I get the sense that after a game like tonight, they don't feel like it's celebrating too much on the Philly side again after something like that. But we'll see. They're
Well,
going
the
to go
same
ahead and play
thing.
the games on the weekends.
I happened to watch the beginning of the Colin Cowherd show for the first time in a long time. Boy, has that guy talk about milling, and then his show is as dull and oversaturated as I've ever seen a show.
I
A
agree.
lot of these guys need to just go away. His shtick is so just over. It's
Well,
so
that
over,
Uh,
and then
I'll
they
tell you.
bring in these new people, these ex players, and these from both the WNBA and the NBA. And I'm sitting there for 5 seconds. I'll listen to them open their holes, and I'm like, oh god,
That's why I don't watch any of
why
it.
the hell would I care
Yeah. I
what
like
these
listening
people
to this.
say? What are they
Uh,
saying that's relevant? Oh, Joel Embiid deserved this MVP. What? What do you mean deserved? What does that mean? He deserved? Didn't he bow out when Jokic came in to Philly? Didn't he have to sit out?
yeah,
When the hell did you ever hear the great ones sit out against what would be the battle for MVP?
it's interesting.
Imagine this. Remember that game in 2000, Portland versus LA, that pretty much won the regular season for LA because they beat Portland in Portland?
Yeah.
How would you have felt if Shaq before the game said, "Oh, I'm going to sit out for this one"? He would have been thrown into a frying pan.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. This is stupid. It's
He was
getting
already
stupid.
he was already in a frying pan that season because
These people need to
pay
these
me.
people need to be called out. All of them need to be called out, especially the ones that have been picking the Warriors like they're the juggernauts of the NBA. Watch the games, fools. Watch the games. Okay, just watch the games for once instead of the box scores, and listen to your dumb friends on Twitter.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. It is late night with Lakers fast break. We're getting a little testy here before we end and out, but I wanted to go ahead and since Zangerstein joined us late, and big shout out to Zangerstein, one of our all-time greats there. Even she's not sure if LeBron will erupt in, and maybe he doesn't necessarily need to, but I do know that he's shooting around 50%, on the twos, Jamie and Joe. I just think that if he could focus a little bit more on that instead of as many threes as he's putting up there, that would serve to be so much better, even if it means just posting him up a little bit more, just to take him away from that 3-point line. You think that might be a little bit more beneficial for his game as well?
I think I think he absolutely has to get inside the 3-point line. I feel like LeBron is a early game 3-point shooter to see if he's quote unquote feeling it. And then I think he's a late game 3-point shooter because he's tired. And in the middle, he tends to play a little bit more of the LeBron James that we've come to know over the years. And I kind of wish he would flip that script. I wish he would attack the basket a little more early. And maybe that's by design. Maybe he's, wants to warm up into the game, run up and down the court a few times. I don't know. Maybe he's just managing his health the way he feels he needs to manage it. But if it were me, that's what I would like to see more. I would like to see him go to the 3-point shot after scoring a couple of baskets in close, like see the ball go through the rim a couple of times. So we'll see. It's I think that
Go from inside out is what you're saying.
start exactly. Go from inside out, score a couple of points, then try that 3-point shot. See how hot you are. Because then if you're doing that, they're not going to know how to guard you.
Yeah.
And then you're the one who's controlling the chessboard at that point, and that's when he's at his best. So, but again, I don't know if the first 5-10 minutes of the game he's like, I need to just jog around a little bit and get my body warmed up till who knows. And I think that
if they can get him in foul trouble again, either one of the big guys, Looney or Draymond Green,
but
that's a good help as well.
Sure, but I feel like this is the benefit of like the current team that he has around him. Like, there's guys like Reeves or D'Lo or Hachimura or Schroeder or and as long as they do that, and even Vanderbilt, right? Even Vanderbilt has dumped in a nice 10-point first quarter here and there, was hitting some threes. Any one of those guys scores 10, 12, 15 points in the first quarter, and AD does what AD does, we're good, right? Like that's it. That's what the team needs. One guy needs to go off along with AD or LeBron for like 10 points a quarter, 8 points a quarter. We keep up at that point. You keep up, and that's the formula the Lakers are doing really well at so far. It's not, you can't point to one guy besides LeBron and AD who's played consistently well. But they have all played well enough when the time has come to keep the team moving forward.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of take the gang mentality of this. Like they are gang rebounding, they are gang scoring, they are gang winning. It's not a two-man show.
And I agree with you. I mean, LeBron defensively has been much more of a plus than we saw in the past 2-3 regular seasons.
At least adequate.
In his playoffs. Yeah, at least adequate, but playing a lot of great help defense, getting the chasing down blocks. Rebounding has been solid as far as him getting enough bodies, because I think they realize Looney with the 20-plus boards, he's a real threat to get those offensive boards. They're still getting them, but it's becoming a little bit harder, especially when you've got AD getting 23 rebounds and LeBron getting 11 himself. So that's 34 right there, Joe. So again, if LeBron doesn't do it on one end, at least he's giving you a better effort on the other end as well that he normally has in the recent past.
Just do what you did in game one and you'll win this game. It's that simple. This could go the other way. The Warriors could play like the Celtics did tonight at home. And then at that point, just win your home games the rest of the way. At that point, that's it. If that happens, we're still good.
I think Curry's going to get the ball a little bit more. I know that's something that they went to in the second half. Late in the second half, they went to getting the ball in Curry's hands sooner in the shot clock, as opposed to just being off ball a lot more like we saw in the first half. I think they're going to focus in on that more and throw a lot more of those junk defenses against the Lakers, and we'll see what happens. If the Lakers play smart enough, though, and continue to pound away at the basket and get those fouls, I think they can steal game two, because like you said, guys, are they really going to get 21 threes again? The odds say no. They can. I'm not going to dissuade you from that. Intel, Jamie, you both said that they can. That's obviously a great possibility. But the odds say that they're not going to be that proficient like they were in that first half. 2 straight games.
No, but I also don't think you'll see a 17-point discrepancy in free throw attempts.
So you think they'll attack the paint a little bit more?
Well, the reason why there was
just get more calls. It's like a different officiate. Like it's all gonna, like, we can't. I mean,
the discrepancy is not going to change because you have a jump shooting team constantly shooting jump shots. You're less likely to get any calls when you just keep jump shooting. It's not. That's not. Steph Curry's gonna have to drive and create. I don't know if that's something he can do with this team against AD.
No, I think Curry on the ball more, Wiggins attacking more. Those are 2 of the main adjustments we'll see on offense.
I mean, you saw what happened when AD was late. He was late. He was running to the basket and he swiped it with his backhand.
That was beautiful.
Okay, that is not normal.
No.
Okay, that is devastating to a team mentally. You just it's. I'm not saying AD is great because he's a Laker, and I'm trying to be positive. The guy's a freak of nature on defense. And imagine you're killing yourself to get to the basket and try to make shots, and you have some guy blocking your stuff without you even knowing he's there. It's very Troy Polamalu-esque. Troy sacking a quarterback on a sneak. They don't even know what's going on. That's what AD's doing. And then LeBron is pacing himself because He has to. And he's being effective. As long as he's not making those terrible turnovers where he's bounce passing in between two defenders that are, neck and neck. As long as he doesn't do that, I don't mind him taking a couple threes here and there to see if they'll go in. Because if they start going in, we've seen LeBron hit 4 or 5 threes in a game. And that could be it. That could be the dagger in a team's psyche. LeBron is hitting those threes. Now you're toast. Now there's you have no chance of winning the game. But maintain the defense, sustain the defense. It's just they can adjust all they want, but I don't see how this team is going to beat a healthy Laker team. There's too much youth on our team now, and AD is playing way too good. I have to see something that I think maybe I haven't seen a lot of in tomorrow night's game for me to go, whoa, ooh, that might be a problem with Golden State. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it in 7 games before the series. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't see it a couple days ago. So now what? Or yesterday? I don't know. We'll see if we see it.
Well, we'll tell you what, we'll be watching it every step of the way. I know that there's probably another snack pack on the way tomorrow from a good friend, Magic Man Sean Grice. I know that we'll try to do a last-minute preview before the game. Hopefully we can get that done as well. We'll see what happens there. But obviously we will be here tomorrow night for playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. There was a great time for game 1, and hopefully you'll be able to join us on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break for game 2. Hopefully you'll be able to do that. It was a lot of fun. Had a couple trolls. We got rid of them easily. Joe got to shout at him a little bit. That was a lot of fun. So go ahead and check out what it's all about. The uncut and unfiltered version of the Lakers Fast Break.
Yeah, that guy needed to.
Yeah.
That guy or whatever the hell that was needed to. Yeah. That's one of those things where you find out where that guy is. You bust through that room, that little whatever basement in his parents' house he's at.
That's what I was going to say.
And you take the baseball bat in the corner of the room and make sure he doesn't go upstairs for a couple of days.
Is this your homework? Is this your homework?
That's could be indeed. But I will tell you, Z, you're right. If we get the same AD consistently on offense as we have on defense, it could be very well our game here in just a little while. This time tomorrow, we'll know what the answer is, and obviously we'll go ahead and be a part of it on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And then, of course, the best post game that's out there on the Lakers can be found right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So for Jamie Sweet, who's got his latest 5 things articles right there for you at Lakerholics.com. Also as well, you've got Joe Soro at LakersBall.com. You know he's all over the place there. Plus also his company, Simblades with a Y.com. It is Gerald Glassford. Go ahead and check us out. Again, I've got shows into Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and also as well, Pop Culture Cosmos coming up this weekend, so check that out as well.
Joe, basically, you're basically running your own personal Truman Show. You realize, like, you basically go from one show to another show. It's just that you're aware of that your show is, you're not like. I mean, a little bit.
There's that scene when his wife does the advertisement, and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" It kills me every time I see
that movie.
It is a great movie.
It's a great movie. If you haven't, listen. If you're younger than 40, if you're younger than 40 and you haven't seen the Truman Show,
you are scaring me.
It is one of Jim Carrey's best performances. Absolutely.
That he had a good 5-year stretch around that time where it was just like, because it was like Truman Show, Man in the Moon. There's another one that I always forget.
Eternal of the Spotless.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
That's
Mind.
considered his best and one of the best.
All of them were good. All of them are good though. All of them were really good
Jim
though.
Carrey
he's a great human being in my opinion.
He is one of the most talented entertainers to ever breathe on Earth, and he's still is funny.
And authentic, right? Like that's what I love about him. He's like, this is just classic Carrey. He hadn't lost a step. There's that scene where he's in that whatever vehicle he's in, and he's like, "Throw your head back,"
And like just his timing of like he told the guy to do it.
Right.
Oh man,
He's classic.
He's one of the greats, and if the industry is messing with him to the point where he wants to retire, I hope the industry dies a slow death and somebody goes out there and gets him back in here. This is stupid.
His performance in Kick-Ass.
Oh,
It was a Kick-Ass 2.
Kick-Ass 2.
It was Kick-Ass 2, yeah, because
No. Kick-Ass 1. No. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
It was
Kick-Ass 1
1
because he was the dad, right?
Yeah. He was no, he wasn't the dad. That was Nick Cage. He was the one that was the guy with it that worked. He was like a former military guy. He part of that club because when
then that is Kick-Ass 2. Yeah,
talk about two guys that have made me cry from laughing so much. Nicolas Cage,
Nick Cage, and
Moon in Vegas, crying, laughing so hard when he gets onto the island and he runs into Mr. Miyagi. Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. And Peter Boyle's in it. It's like
that's a great movie.
3 comedic geniuses. Now I want to go watch that movie now before I go to bed.
We'll let you get to that right now. But once again, it's Jamie Sweet at Lakerholics.com, Joe Soro from LakersBall.com.
Hope we didn't piss off that guy that.
Why aren't you talking about the game?
And I totally derailed your outro, Gerald. I'm so sorry.
No
wait, I get to do this again though.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Z was saying I got to show that. Said she loves Cage and Carey. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
They should do.
You're not even flying today.
Yes. They should remake Tango and Cash with Nicolas Cage and Jim Carrey.
Oh my gosh, Tango! That is absolutely at the height of '80s cheese. Oh my gosh!
Imagine what they could do with it. Like, do you want to drive? Man,
yeah. It's one of those so bad it's good movies.
It's so good.
It's just so good because it's so bad.
It's so awful. Anyway. Yeah.
Once again,
I'll do. Listen, let me do the outro, Gerald. Well, this is the Lakers Fast Break. We'd like to thank all of our friends at Hoopheads Podcast, all the people over at Pop Culture Cosmos, Joe Soro, Sim Blades, Lakerholics, for me and Laker for Tom, battling to the ends of the earth, hell to heaven and back again. And we'll catch you tomorrow night on our you see, I can't remember what the playback TV is called.
Playback.tv/Lakers.
I was so close. Thank you. All right.
Sean has a snack pack. We'll probably do a preview as well. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, or actually for us today, and all of you guys today out there. Z, honestly, there's so many movies in the 90s and early 2000s I loved as a kid. You know what? Absolutely. Really some of the height of movies right there. Absolutely. So for the guy peeking over Zangerstein's comment, Jamie Sweet and Joe Soro, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching this thing. We'll see you later today right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.